Hello, everybody. I'm going to give it just a couple minutes to let some folks join. We are here for a live Q&A of the SheMax dust collector. I figured I would chat with you guys for just a minute first. My model for a demo today ended up canceling just like 45 minutes ago. So I am going to be showing you on my nails, but we're gonna go over some features of the collector and answer any questions you may have about it, because I don't get paid for any of this. For the record, this is not like a paid promotion type thing. This is solely because I love it and I really believe that you guys will benefit from it. So I feel that you guys might have some questions. One thing I get asked a lot is it worth it? Because it's a high price point, and I understand that. My answer is yes. I hesitated to buy it for about 6 months. I had seen it and I was like, okay, I have one. It's fine. I need to wait. And I waited till Black Friday and I have no regrets. Hey, Hope. Hi, Dana. Hey, Sheridan. Hi, Gary. All right, we have a few people on. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip this around. Well, first, do you guys have any questions before we jump in? Got horror movies playing in the background. Any questions about it? Concerns? What do you guys want to know? I can just do a demo if that's what you prefer, but I want to be sure I actually address your questions. I'm gonna go ahead and actually flip this around. And filters one-time use. No, they are not one-time use, actually. There we go. Okay, so let me pull this up on my other phone so that I can see your guys' questions a little bit easier. Oh, it's done. Okay, cool. So we got some good questions. Filter one-time use. Is it loud? Is it all metal contracted? How many filters come with it? I have the I almost said anemone. I don't think that's what that is. Anemone, maybe? And I'm not thrilled with it. Okay. Dana, what's your complaint with that one? So we can talk about maybe some of the comparisons. I'm going to go ahead and write these down real quick since my other phone is dead, so I can be sure I answer everyone's questions, because those are all really, really good questions. If I can find my little notepad. Hold, please. There it is. Okay. So we had... are the filters one-time use? So let's just go ahead and go down the list. No, they are not one-time use. These last you about 2.5 months, depending on, of course, how busy you are. Let me show you. I did not empty this after my last client on Saturday, so there's some dust in here, so I'm going to show you that. Let me angle this over it so you can see a little bit more of the dust. So you can see, let me put some gloves on. You can see that it holds a lot of that dust in there. I will go through how to empty it here in just a moment, but I want you to see what's in here first. And then I'll take this off too. Okay, so we can see, look at all of that dust in there. See how it goes in between the filters, or in between the little slats? So the screen keeps it nice and pretty, but look at all of that, like that dust is in between each slat. It's not just like one or two. They're all filled. So I'll take my top off and put this back, and I'll show you how to clean it. And this was after one client. So the client I did just before her had red nails, so you can see some of the red, and that's where it captured the dust. You can see that I use roughly a third of the filter, I'd say, because my positioning stays pretty much the same. I'm fairly static as far as where I am positioning wise. But the nice thing is you can move all over. But you can see that this is where my red client had her hand. And then my next client had her hand further forward. I always have to push her back some. But let's go ahead and take the filter out. And I think I accidentally flipped this filter over when I put it back in one day, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you take this out. What I use to sanitize my desk are my rejuvenation wipes. So they're just disinfectant wipes. And there's a reel for this too, so if you don't, capture this in the live, there is a video of this available for you to watch later. But basically, I use this like normal. I sanitize my desk, do what I need to do all that stuff, okay? Wipe everything down, and then I lay this out on my station. Usually I don't take that out until I've laid that down. Okay, so we lay that down. If you don't use wipes to disinfect, get a paper towel, wet it in your sink, and then you're gonna take your filter, turn it over, and you're just gonna you can see that I flipped it over one time, so the inside's a little dusty. But you just hold it down, run your fingers over the slats. I tap it a couple times. So the reason that we have the wet paper towel or wipe underneath is so that the dust doesn't go flying up that we are pushing out underneath, right? Okay, and look at all of that dust. It's from one client, maybe two. I don't remember if I emptied it, but you can see that some of that red is still there. Imagine breathing all of that in. Did you guys know that during an appointment without a dust collector, you breathe in 1 to 2 tablespoons of plastic gel? Isn't that wild? It's crazy. So when you empty the filter, hold on, I'm going to pull it up over here so I can see those questions again. And I'm just going to tap this off because some of it sticks because we've now made it wet. Now what I'm going to do, just fold up my wipe or my wet paper towel, whatever it is I'm using, fold the dust inwards towards the center, and then anything that's around it, you just use this to wipe it up. And you are done. So clean. Nothing. Then you just throw away your wipe. Okay? So these last you when you are, so now it's clear. See, we have no more dust in there. Okay, and then we put it back in our filter and the fans, and we put our screen back on. And you're able to use that for about 2 to 3 months. Again, depending on how busy you are, okay? Now, next question was, let's see, is it loud? Great question. I'm gonna be making a video about this soon, but it is not loud for the volume or the speed I use it at. Obviously when you get it to full power, because it is a powerful machine, it can be a little loud, but here, let me turn it on and I'm going to talk. This is about where I have it when I'm working with clients. It's fairly quiet. Actually, there we go. That's around where I use it with my clients. I also do this based off sound when I'm with clients. Here's full power. It's not massively loud. I would say it's quieter than a vacuum, like an actual vacuum. It's definitely quieter than some of the other filters I've used because it has the ability to adjust that speed. And you don't really have to have it too high up when you're working with clients unless you're working really high up here and you really need that suction power. Again, full power. Okay, if we're up here, it's going to suck all that dust down from all the way up here, which typically you're not going to be up at your face working with your clients anyway, right? You're going to be down here with your hand rested and braced and working, okay? So no, I don't consider this to be loud. I think because of the quality of the fans, it keeps it quiet. You don't have the rattling. You don't have a lot of different things going into making more sound. Is it all metal contract? I'm sorry, I'm not sure what that means. How many filters come with it? I believe it comes with one filter. You might have to look on the website for that, to be honest. So I got mine on Black Friday last year, and I think it came with one filter, and then I think I ordered one other. So they do have a filter subscription, though, by the way. So you can sign up for that, and it kind of takes some of that mental load off, and it saves you some money, obviously, when you buy like that. Loud and don't feel it collects enough, Dana says about the, what is it? Anemone, maybe? Anemone, I think. The other dust collector she's talking about. She says that it's loud and doesn't feel like it collects enough. Okay, well, we'll talk about that. I'm going to give you a little demo here in a second. I just got one, and I did test it out today. I do find it a bit loud, but it really does work. Okay. I mean, so let's talk about loudness. What do we consider loud for a vacuum? That's what this is. This is vacuuming dust out of the air, light dust. So when we're talking in comparison to household items, when it's full power, I would say it's still quieter than a hair dryer. Definitely quieter than an actual house vacuum. Hold on, I have a handheld vacuum. Let me turn that on and let's see. Do a little comparison for you real quick. Okay, so I have this, what is this, Shark Bissell, this little handheld. Whoops, I opened it. Gross. There we go. Okay. Pretty loud, right? So that's a full-blown vacuum. Here's the SheMax at full power. You can still hear me. Pretty loud. Definitely not as loud as that. Okay. So hopefully that helps. And in comparison to having no dust collector to a dust collector, I would say, sure, it's loud because it's a sound and it's, happening over what you're working in or what conversation you're having with your clients, right? Same with hair dryers when, you're with your hairstylist and they're like, we stop talking, or like, oh, sorry, what? Every 5 seconds. It's not quite that level. And again, you don't have to have it full power. What I just turned it on to was full power. This right here is what I typically have it at 95% of the time. It's not that loud at all. So for me, this really works. Hold on, I'm gonna scroll. Will there be a Black Friday sale on these? I believe so. This is where I got it last year, was Black Friday. So I'm assuming. Again, I'm not an affiliate for them. I don't work for them. This is solely just based on my experience and the fact that I enjoy it. And so many people have had so many questions about it. So I don't have an answer for you on that, but I would assume so. Hi, Nicole. What brand dust collector is this? This is the SheMax. It's beautiful. It comes from Ukraine. Our distributor in the United States is SheMax USA, and I will tag them here in the bottom for you. Real quick. So that way, if you guys want to get one, or go shop around on them. SheMax.USA, right? Post. Okay, and I'll pin that for you. There you go. So yes, it comes from Ukraine. Beautifully made, very sturdy. I scrolled too far. Hold on. Missed a bunch of questions. Hold, please. So clean, yes. That's a dude, guys. For real, for real. Oh, I'm a dude? That's okay. Sure. Yeah, dude. Sure. Is it heavy? I have the Valentino one and it's so heavy. No. It weighs 3 pounds. I think when I talked to Sarah, she said it was 3 pounds in the box. It was 3.2 or something in the box. So I don't leave it on my desk. So I'm lifting it up twice every appointment, and I can hold it with one hand. So there's with one hand. It's 3 pounds. It's not very heavy. I pick it up and I put it in my drawer. So no, not that heavy, but the thing is, it does have these little feet on the bottom, so it stays really well. Easy to move if I need to move it, but it's definitely lighter than Valentino. And Valentino is what I started with personally. So I didn't love it because it was so heavy, but also simultaneously somehow didn't stay in place. So I love this for that reason. It's heavy enough, so to speak, that it doesn't wiggle a whole lot. You can see, like, if I just one finger press, it's not going very far. And even when it's on, it's not like shaking so much that it's moving. So yeah, the weight of it, I think, is like pretty well balanced. It's loud, but not as high pitched. Ooh, Danny, that's a great point. It is loud because it's a vacuum, right? But it's not as high pitched. You don't have I'm going to say a whirring, right? It's not as like, it's like, ooh, vacuumy, right? Maybe that's why I don't notice it as much. Tabletop versus flush mount. So the tabletop version, what are you wanting to know versus which? Are you wanting to know price or quality or preference? What are your curiosities about that, I guess? I'm just going to cut this off of here. Oops. Wow. Never had a real life troll in my lives before. This is fun. I'm just gonna get my nails out here. Nicole, do you have a code? No, I'm not an affiliate with them. I'm just here because I love it. It's my favorite dust collector I've used to date, and I want to say this is my 5th collector that I've used. So I love it. It's the best so far. Okay. I think that was all of the questions. There we go. Okay, let's zoom in real quick and I will show you. Yeah, Nicole, no, I am not an affiliate with them, but when I went to the expo, I did joke with Sarah about the fact that I should just go stand at the booth and tell everyone why they should buy it because I love it so much. So, there's that. Okay, didn't need to write any questions down. We get them all answered. Okay. You guys feel good about a demo? Do you have any other questions before we jump in? Oh, I have a Valentino flush mount, but I'm considering getting this tabletop and was curious about the difference. Okay, sure. So the difference between the two, I would say, one, I much prefer these filters. They are less expensive. They do last longer. And those are like my 2 main factors when it comes to considering what filter I prefer. And we're a business, so that impacts us, right? So I don't know the measurements of the Valentino flush mount and the SheMax flush mount, but it might be worth it to see if they're the same measurement for your flush mount, and maybe you could take out your Valentino and place your SheMax in there. I have to imagine that they're not much different, and you would probably be able to just slide that in there or even adapt it somehow. So sorry if you already answered this, but how often do you change a filter? You're fine, Danny, totally fine. The filters last you about 2 months is what it's slated to be. Before they recommend you changing it out. And that's if you're, emptying it every day, after every client, empty every client. And again, how busy you are. So typically people will take on the side here and write the date that they put it in, and then put it in and know that like, okay, I'm around the time that this needs to be replaced, 2 months out. And their subscription service, Danny, I believe is based on a 2-month expectation life of the filters. I change it out when I notice that it's just too packed with stuff. So again, kind of talked about this a little bit, but just back to this, you can see on the filter right here is where I work mostly. When I start to really notice that, after emptying it, I'll turn it around and be sure I'm using it the other way. This one I think is, I got this at the expo, so about a month old, I'd say. And you can see, now if you've used the Valentino filters, you'll know what I'm talking about. When you empty the Valentino filters, they get really fluffy, right? And kind of frayed. These don't do that. This stays fairly similar throughout the whole duration of you using it. So the thing you'll notice is that in here, you'll start to see that this will be, let me zoom in a little bit. In here, it'll just start to be more caked up at the bottom and more difficult to empty. What that kind of causes is it can get a little bit more clogged up and just harder to clean and function. Oh, thank goodness. Yes. Yeah, these don't get like that fluffy weirdness, because I know if you use the Valentino, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is the most frustrating thing. And the thing with this versus some of those other filters, like those square ones that we see a lot, those square white ones or pink or whatever, the filter has like a frame on it, so you can't turn it over and empty it out like this one on the desk and then clean that up and throw your wipe away or your paper towel away. That one you have to like bang in your trash can or bang on your desk, and then dust is flying everywhere, and now suddenly you have loose dust all over your desk or all over your station or you or your trash can, and it's messy. So another positive to this is that when you empty it out and you do it over that wet paper towel, it contains everything to that paper towel because it's wet, and so it's absorbing that dust and not allowing it to fly everywhere. So definitely recommend that. One thing I did mention earlier was I accidentally had put this back in upside down one time, and I hadn't thoroughly cleaned it, so, or like emptied it. So let me show you what happens when you do that. You see in here, the other nice thing about this is that you're able to see right into your components. There's no questioning like what's going on in here. You see the fans, right? We see them. So I'm going to show you what to do with that. Where'd my wife go? So if you ever see this happen, before, typically you should notice it before you are like, changing it out. Take your wipe, and you're just going to wipe inside. You want it to be wet, of course, so that it absorbs those little dust particles. And you just wipe it away. It's not really going to harm anything, but much like any tool or piece of equipment we have, you do want to clean it and be sure that like this isn't getting logged up with dust, so that way it's not sitting all inside the fans and anything inside your main electrical components inside here. I don't know what's going on in here, but we see the fans. So you can also go in and clean the fan itself. If you see some dust on there, which is again probably from me putting it in upside down. So, hey, don't do that. Just a little pro tip there for you. But, this is not something that you would be having to do frequently. We would just hope that you don't make the same mistake I did. So if you do happen to see some dust in here, easy peas, just take that wipe. Get out of here. We have gnats right now. They're terrible. And you're good. Okay? All good. Easy peas. And then we just, this way. Don't do it again. And then we just put it back in. Some people work without their filter or their screen on top. That way it all just goes directly into the filter, because if you wear gloves during a service, if you are, if you close this and then some of it's sitting on here and you go to wipe it, sometimes like on a couple of the letters, it'll like catch your glove and you'll get a hole in your glove and you have to change your gloves, and it's a whole thing. So sometimes I do work without it, especially for clients that come in and we've done really extensive art, and so we have a lot of top coat to like get that really smooth line of light. When I'm working, there's more dust on that than like a color only. So typically if I have a heavy art client come in and I'm removing we're doing a fill or even removals, one, I'll turn it up a little bit higher. Two, I'll have more dust sitting on here. So what I do with those is I'll remove this, and it's magnetic, by the way. You can see that it just it almost like, see, it lifts it up a little bit, but you just take it off. And then I just will set mine aside on my bookshelf I have over here with some of my supplies. And then I just put it back on for later. Magnetized. And then you just center it. I just do it by pushing up on the bottom right here. Yeah. Cool. Okay. You guys good for a demo? Feeling good? Hi, Matt. Hold on, Danny. I saw a question come through and then it disappeared. Plus, it's just one more thing to clean if you leave the grate on there. Yeah, absolutely. That too. And I don't remember what I was going to say about the one more thing to clean, but if we can remove anything from the brain power bucket, remove your filter or your screen. So again, I'm going to actually just take this off for the video so you can see the filter itself directly while we're working. Okay, I'm going to turn it so I can be angled to see for you guys a little bit better. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. I just threw this nail on literally just before the live, which is why I jumped on like 2 seconds late. So that way I could show you color only. I have this one that has quite a bit of art on it, so I'll show you what that looks like. And one thing to keep in mind with these is, like all dust collectors, okay, rewind. Actually, all products create dust differently. All bits create dust differently. So depending on the product you use or what you're doing during a service, you may adjust not your temperature, your speed on your fan and how high that level is up. So for color only, you don't really need to be too high. But first I want to show you what it looks like without the filter on, so we have a really good comparison. So I'm gonna turn a little bit more and I'm gonna, okay. So this is without the filter. And it's everywhere. Oh, literally already got it in my eye. Hold on. Oh God, while I'm rubbing my eye, did you guys see that video of the lady who got her e-file stuck in her hair? Oh, it's so upsetting. I'm okay. Hold on. Okay, I'm okay. Whew. Okay. So now I'm going to turn my collector on. Let me show you really quick where you adjust. So this is your knob right here, just on the side. So when you have the fan on, it blows air out the sides, like all filters, obviously. So if you have like a little wipe sitting there, when you turn this on, it'll blow that away. And just be mindful of that. Oh, it would help if I plugged it in. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. There we go. So you can see the thing moving. A piece of glove I tore off. Okay, so this is your knob. Closest towards turn U is off, and I'm going to turn it all the way up. halfway. That's about a quarter of the way. I stay about 1/3. Okay, see, still not too loud. But again, if you have it all the way up, which you don't need because you have those 2 fans in here. And again, unless you're working like way up here on a client, you don't need that to be full power. You're working right here and your dust is going to pull down. So play around with your levels if you do feel like it is too loud. Don't be afraid to turn it down a little bit. I always recommend starting lower and then moving up. Hi, Pro Nails. Hold on. I know your name. Lori. Hi, Lori. Right? Did I get that right? Oh my gosh, I hope I got that right. Okay. So this is about the speed that I stay at, or volume I stay at when I'm with my clients. So let's go ahead and do this with the filter on. And I'm using a medium carbide bit from Erica. So again, back to remember, different products will create, or different bits will create different dust for you. So you see how it goes straight down instead of back up into my face? And it just goes right into the filter. You can see it in there already. And see, again, don't have it that loud or high. And this is what it looks like when I'm with clients. It comes up because that's what it does, and then it pulls it right back down. Yes, yeah, this is on like 1/3. Ta-da! Whoops, turning it up. Okay, so I just did, oh, hold on. Wow, I just left my E file on when I set it down. That was dumb. Okay, so you can see there's not much dust, right? And let me show you, hold on, I'm gonna show you around the filter. No dust over here. No dust on me. Okay, so there's no, oh, there's a little bit of dust. That's probably from before, but even if there was a little bit of dust. So there's that. Okay. Now, someone asked earlier about a Black Friday sale. I'm going to venture to say I'm like, I would say I'm like 92% confident that there's going to be a really good Black Friday sale on these. So if you are thinking about doing it, don't do it just yet. I want you to have it, but I also want you to save money because like these things are important. So be excited about it, but definitely wait and save yourself some money because it'll be worth it. Because that's what I did. I mean, I wanted it really bad. I waited like 6 months. I think I saw it in like April, and then I got it on Black Friday. So pretty certain that they're going to have one. But again, I'm not an affiliate for them. I don't work for them. So I can't say 100%. I know that the site is going to have, the site it's sold through is going to have a sale, but I don't know what the sale looks like. I don't know if it's on the filters or the collector. I do not know the details. So I'm not going to tell you guys yes, for sure, but definitely keep that in mind. Okay, I'm just looking out for you. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one off because I want you to see what it looks like with art because there's like thicker art on here. Maybe this one. Yeah, let's do that one. So I'm just going to cut my glove off real quick. Hello, welcome. I just got the hand rest and I love it, but I was going to get it for my own Christmas gift for my studio. Cute. Yeah, I mean, I'd recommend it. I think it's a great idea. The armrest is amazing. I do love the armrest. That's what I have right there that vacuum is on. But Lori, I think that you'd really like it. Okay, so another thing about this that I can't really show when working on like myself, it's easier to show this with a client. And again, my client who's going to be a model canceled. But if we turn it this way, Do you see how wide it is compared to other filters? Most collectors are about this, right? So, and it has just the one fan in the middle. So 2 things about that. One, when it has the one fan in the middle, someone mentioned in the DMs earlier that I'm so frustrated because hi Dee Dee, I'm so frustrated because the ones I've been buying, you guys know the ones I'm talking about, those square ones with the X over the back of the filter and like you slide it in the front or the back or the side or whatever, right? So those, she was saying that she's bought multiple of those and they don't last more than maybe a year, maybe a few months. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, it has the one fan. So it's working double time for all of that dust we're seeing spread across here. We're able to empty out like thoroughly because we're able to scrape the back of the filter. We're able to change this filter out easily. It's not as thick like those Valentinos where we have like the fuzzies. So it's not having to work as much overtime, right, to suck in all that dust. When we have the 2, that's spread out a little bit more. 2, the quality behind your appliances matters. It really, really matters. I know for a fact we all are looking for like the best deal, the best way to have something that we can actually, that will be like utilitarian, that is not going to break the bank. But if you're paying like $200 or $150 for something and that breaks in a year, you're spending another $150, $199. So now you're at like $400. Then you buy this and it lasts you years because it's high quality and they're not like made en masse, right? But also the 2 fans really, really help. It takes away the ability or the effort for that one fan to be putting in all the effort. So that will also kind of ensure that you are not overworking one. It being on isn't really what's doing that work, right? It's all that dust and it trying to suck through that air past the dust. I'm on my 5th dust collector in 4 years. Yeah, Lori, same. And that's not on any one brand. It's not. That's just like those specific types of dust collectors. So, that was my opinion. That's really what led me to this. Was I was so tired of 1, it failing on me in a service. 2, me having to reach out to companies and be like, help, what's wrong? Replace things, rebuy things. It gets expensive, it gets frustrating. So I'm very, very comfortable in my decision for this. But the other thing about the dual fans on this is that when you're working with a client, when you're over here, say you work pretty centered, right? When you're with a client, let me pull out my little fingy friend. Okay, so say we're working on a client, right? And we're doing our removal and we're right here. But then we have to turn upwards. 1, we have the power. And if that goes down on both sides, both fans are sucking that in. If we turn this way and we're further to the right, instead of having to move our dust collector, our little square dust collector to the side and work over here a little bit out of range, I'm able to just do what's most dexterous for me and turn my hand how I need. And I'm still over a fan. Like I'm still already working over something that is functioning. I'm not having to really adapt my workspace too much. And wherever you are on here doesn't change like the power. Hi, Chelsea. Wherever you are over your filter doesn't change how powerful the suction is. I mean, if you're like over here above like the side, sure, this is still going to try and pull the dust down, but you'll see some dust over here. But if you're like on the side, in the middle, in the front, if you're closer to the front here, where you have those clients that put their hand all the way forward, you guys know the client I'm talking about. You're going to see more dust up here on the ledge and like on your apron and stuff. Okay, so be sure you're asking your clients, relax your hand, keep them centered. The other thing is that, it doesn't have a sharp edge. These edges here are really nice for like anchoring your hand or your wrist or even like closer up. So yeah. How often do they suggest changing the filter? So it's about every 2 months, give or take, depending on how busy you are. I think I average just a little over 2 months. But Lori, they have a subscription service where you are able to subscribe to the filters, and the subscription service is based on their recommendation of changing these every 2 months. If you are emptying it after every client, especially. If you're emptying it after every day, it might go a little quicker because it's collecting more dust, which will wear down these pockets and make them a little wider. But if you change them or empty them when recommended, yeah. Sorry, off topic, but where do you get your gloves? It's a funny question. I got my gloves on Amazon. I bought a case of 1,000 a few months ago from a sale I saw for latex gloves for Amazon. And, actually, no, that's a lie. I just ran out of those. That was the last order. I got these on Amazon. I bought a case of 1,000 for like $120. And actually, it's on my Amazon storefront. There's a link in my bio. So if you go to that and click Amazon storefront, it's listed in there. Okay. These ones are great too because they're thick. Love them. Okay. You guys feeling good? You want to see the heavy art one, which can we just take a moment to appreciate this art by Andy? It's Madame Leota. It's so cute. So cute, so cute. You know what? Let's just go ahead and take the tips off all of these because I want you to see, again, the art levels. I have the same sharp vacuum. Oh, to vacuum your valve. Yeah, because that's something you have to do. I actually got that as on a recommendation from Katie last year for Black Friday, funny enough. But I got it before I got my SheMax and needed to vacuum dust off of everything all the time. Okay. Now you can get back on topic. Yeah, no problem. Happy to help. Okay. So I had to take this one off because I was teaching a one-on-one and needed to do that for what I was teaching. So Andy's quality is amazing. It did not break. It's fine. I took it off, unfortunately. Okay. If you're watching Andy or happen to see this later, I'm so sorry to take your nails off. I love them so much and I love you so much. This is color changing, by the way. I'm so sorry. Before I take this off, I know this is not about nails or nail art, but I need to show you. We have here's a little pro tip for you guys, a fun little random tip. The fingerless latex gloves, that's a vibe. You know me, always trying to create some fun, weird, creepy vibes here. For color changing nail art like this, we keep a little heat gun in the salon. So when you're trying to take videos of your client's work, you just turn it on and point it at their finger. And my hands are really cold. Look at how quick it changes. Isn't that wild? That's so cool. Oh, also that felt so good. So cozy. Okay. So, how many of you here are acrylic techs? Do you have anyone here that works with acrylic? Hi, Lynette. I feel like Billy Zane should take the pinky off just to complete the look, honestly. People also do this for the UV protection in their lamps, which is smart if that's the thing that you're worried about. Me? Okay. Any other acrylic? You meant me for acrylic, right, Dee Dee? Hi, I am not an acrylic tech, but I just watch. You're cute. I adore you, Lynette. Okay. So real quick before we go into a demo of showing heavy art removal, I'm going to cover these because my hands are so cold. Yes, acrylic. Okay. So acrylic, as we know, the dust on acrylic is heavier and can be chunkier, right? Comes in spirals depending on the acrylic type you use, your monomer, your powder, all that. So this will still collect all that. So remember that when you are looking at a demo, you are watching gel removal, and that product differences may look different and may adjust your speed and things like that. So one thing I noticed, because I'm not an acrylic tech, I can't tell you about my experience with this with acrylic, but I'm going to tell you my experience with my Valentino versus, well, just my Valentino, because that's all I had experience with when I did acrylic. Was that the more of those like swirlies I got, the more clogged up and harder to empty my filter became. And I think for the Valentino, that's maybe why it got plucky, you know, those fuzzies that we were talking about. I think that's probably why that happened a lot, but also the emptying it. So keep that in mind, that what you're going to see for the demo may not reflect exactly what you would see, how the dust reacts or the filter reacts to that kind of dust. Okay. Yeah, that sounds accurate. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Again, I can't always speak on acrylic because I don't use it, but I just want to be sure that you guys know like proper expectations and stuff, because acrylic, dip, what else? Yeah, mostly just acrylic and dip and gel, right? That's all we have. Yeah. Polygel file is the same. Your polygel dust is a little bit heavier than a gel because it is a polymer or a combination gel, but it'll react about the same in your filter. Words. Pluckies. Girl, you knew what I meant. You got what I was saying, right? Okay, so I'm going to go up to about the level that I am at when I'm with clients. And I'm just going to keep talking so you guys can hear, because this is pretty average for client work. Now this one again, do you see how raised that is? It's like 3D. So for that, I will probably go higher because we're going to have so much more dust. This is what I was talking about earlier about typically I leave my screen on, but when I'm doing removals like this, I remove the screen because I know I'm going to have piles of more dust, okay? See, so also keep in mind when you're working with clients, your palm is not directly under them, okay? So I'm going to do it this way so you can see a more accurate representation of what the actual dust collection looks like. Yeah, there we go. Also keep in mind, this is not an e-file video. I am not showing you how to correctly e-file anything because I'm not able to show you my proper angles. But there we go. Maybe I can bend my finger enough. That's good. Okay. So see how it goes up and it's like it's coming at me? And then it gets sucked right back down. It's wild. Coming in late. Sorry. How often do you change the filter? No worries. You're good. So they recommend every about 2 months, depending on how busy you are. And they have the subscription service on there that I think is based on a 2-month replacement. And again, that's if you are emptying it after every client. If you're emptying it after every day, you might end up replacing it a little bit sooner. To be honest, I have yet to, blooming nails, no problem. My pleasure. I have yet to, so again, you guys can hear me perfectly fine, right? This is the volume that I'm at when I'm with clients. So, okay, I'm going to turn that off. So, shoot, what was I saying? Oh, to be honest, I had never, really seen a change in performance of the filter. And that's what led me to change it. I just have done it based on it's looking real grungy. I'm not able to get it looking clean. Emptying, it's becoming harder. That's what's led me to change my filter. So the machine still works great, even if you need to change the filter. So say you... Can you guys still hear me okay? Sometimes when calls come through in the middle of lives, it turns off volume. So before I keep talking, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. That dust from my eye earlier hurt. It still hurts. Can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, sweet. But yeah, the functionality of, no, you're fine, Bridget. I got a phone call came through and interrupted the live. The functionality of the filter has never been what's led me to feel like I needed to change my filter. It's all been based on what I'm seeing and the ability to clean it, because you can see in here. So you can see it's darker right here. What you'll start to see is this, even though it's tinted a little red and we look here and we don't really see anything, but when we're looking at it overall, you can see it. When I start to see that this is still stained and I can't really clean it, that's when I've changed it. Oh, back on track. But say you open your last filter and you put it in and then you forget to order one, and then you order it finally and it's not here for, 3 to 5 business days or whatever their shipping time is, it's still going to work totally fine. It's not like it's something with like gel where it's a product where it runs out and the second it hits that 2-month mark, it's going to stop working completely. That's not, you don't have to worry about that. And in case you have not seen what the filters look like in a box, I have a couple here to show you. So this is what they look like in the box. Comes in little cardboard box like this. And then you just open it without using your nails, because nails are jewels, not tools, right? Right, folks? I already opened this one because I was looking at it. But it comes typically, hold on, I have another one. Hold on. Give you a more realistic view here. And there's a video about this too on the feed if you want to see that. Will it be on sale? Because I'm hoping to get them. I'm like 92 to 8% confident that they're having a Black Friday sale. I'm not going to tell you yes 100% because I don't know what that sale is on, as far as like if it's going to include the filters or if it's just the collector or if it's just the armrest, I don't know. So I would wait until Black Friday for sure. Just because it's the, let me move my chair. There we go. Just because it's best to try and save money. It's great to be excited about it and want to get it, but I definitely recommend waiting till Black Friday just because. Okay, so yeah, it comes in the box, and then they come in little plastic. Hi, Katie. Plastic, not plastic wrap, plastic bags, basically. Okay. And then you just open that up, plop it in, and you can see what a new filter looks like versus what mine looks like. And again, I'm like 5 weeks, I'd say, into this one. Okay. So you can see with full use, like it's still looking pretty good. So even if you did have to extend it out or whatever, you're not in dire need of, or you're not losing functionality, basically. Okay. So that's just what the filters look like when they come. And again, I'm fairly certain this comes with a filter when you buy it. I'm pretty sure I recall I purchased this and then I purchased an additional filter, so I had 2. So I put the one in that it came with, and then I stored my other one in, again, that shelf I have over here with some of my supplies. It's actually so funny. I had seen this back in April last year and I was like, oh, I need it. I'm so excited. And then I saw Katie got it and I was like, oh my God, do you love it? I'm waiting for Black Friday. And it was just so serendipitous and funny to me. Okay. So that was what we showed when we were no more than a third up on our volume. We had some art on here. It's not as 3D as this, which again, we'll go over that in just a second so you can see what it looks like with all the extra product. But yeah, does anyone have any questions before I move on? And again, I tagged the company at the bottom there so that you can see where I got it from. I recommend if they have like, notify, like an email list, notify me of sales or whatever, maybe joining that, especially with Black Friday coming up, because sure enough, they will send out, all companies will, they will send out an email saying like, hey, heads up, here's when our Black Friday sale starts, so you can start planning. And this, I believe, is $298, I want to say. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Let me look. SheMax. For the record, it is SheMax, not SheMax, as I was calling it for way too long. Let's see. Shop now. They also have a mini version. Keep that in mind. But again, the reason I love this one is because it has the 2 fans and you can be a little bit more mobile as you work. Oh, nothing's loading here. Sorry, $384. Okay. So I don't know what it'll be on sale for if they do a Black Friday sale, but keep that in mind. Okay. Let me plug my phone in. It's starting to die a skosh. Oh, that's not working. Okay, sorry guys, hold on. Let me plug this in. Sorry, I did not realize that was paused while I was trying to get my charger. Okay. I don't know if I was able to, if it was paused while I was reading Dee Dee's question over here. She said, I saw this first. I was looking to replace mine. Ended up grabbing the Kiara Sky one during the Amazon sale. But now I'm feeling sad. I don't blame you. That's frustrating. I don't know how much the Kiara Sky one was, but those kind of filters are kind of what the most of the DMs I got about filters were about. Were about those square ones with the filters that you slide in. And I said this earlier, I don't know if some of you were here for it, but I will say this is not on any one brand. Like that, those filters, those types, like the square ones with the filter that you push in, all brands that offer those filters are what people are having the complaints about. It's not like just one company or brand or whatever. It's just that filter type. No, there are new ones that stick to the wall. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, the videos where they show that it has the dust sucking power to be able to stick it to the wall. Got it. I mean, seems cool. Seems nifty. But in general, just the single fan and like the filter types, you know, most things I'm hearing, this is all, again, just from like DMs and my own experience. People are saying that they're dying after like under a year or just at a year. And that just comes down to like the quality of those products. Sorry, my hands are really, really cold. So I don't know. I just really wanted you guys to see the high quality of this. You know, it's sturdy. It's not plastic. It doesn't move around. Again, if I push it real hard, when it's on, it's not like insanely loud and high pitched like Danny mentioned earlier. So this is about just over halfway up. And when it's on, it doesn't like some of them do, you know? So again, not an affiliate. I'm not here to sell you guys. I mean, I am, because I want you to have good product or good appliances for work. But not because I get anything out of it, just because I want to share products with you guys that I actually believe in. So things that have actually highly benefited me. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over this. I'm going to show you the 3D removal and the speed that I typically will have this at for something that is this high up, or 3D, I guess you'd say. Okay, so I have my e-file still at the same speed, but I'm going to go up to the speed I'm typically at with my clients so you can see what that looks like. And then I'll turn it up and you can see what it looks like with that. You know, another side note to this is that having those other filters is good. I have never had a problem with this. I've had it for literally almost a year. But much like any appliances e-file, if something happens, you have a backup, you know, couldn't hurt. Okay, so again, this is the speed I'm at when I'm typically with clients. So if I'm up here working on this like 3D-ish, oh, hold on, you can't even see it. Okay, so if I'm up here, I'm kind of far away and I'm working on 3D, it's still pulling it down. You can see how it pops up and then goes down. Easier if you look kind of right here on my glove. But I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more. And I'm gonna really go into that 3D. So you can see it just jumps right back down. It's wild. But, I mean, you could see it was still working even when I was at a lower speed. Can you see it? Let's get my hand out of the way. It just pops right into the filter. So this is what I mean. See how when I'm filing towards me, the dust is going that way? When your client's hands are placed, let me pull out one of those little fake hands. My Aliana hand, or sorry, my red iguana hand. It's so glittery. Please don't judge me. The last time I used this was with flash glitter, so there's that. Okay, so if we have a client's hand, right? I told you, it's so glittery. So when I'm working with a client, typically this is around where I'm gonna be working. Somewhere around here. Pretty centered into the filter. But those clients that sit up here and you're working up here, when you saw that dust flying forward, and when I was doing this, filing towards me, and it was flinging this way, it was still going down, but when you're this far forward on it, you're now pushing the dust outside of the filter. So that's when you will start to see dust around your desk and on you. When you're too close to you and your client's hand is over the filter, right? So if we keep them centered and work in the middle, so their finger and the nail we're working on is centered, that's when you're gonna start seeing that dust and stay in there. You're not gonna have dust around you. So I just did all of that. Oops. I'm gonna set that down. And I'm gonna show you again the dust that's around my station. Okay. Now if we look in here, it's all in there. Get you out of the way. So again, it's not super heavy. I think Sarah said it weighs like 3 pounds in the box. So it might weigh even less than that when it's out of the box. I don't have a scale with me, so I'm not sure. But yeah. And then I'll put you guys back real quick. There we go. Okay, so because I did this at the start of the video, I'm also gonna show you how to empty it, but I'm gonna finish getting everything off of this nail first. Whoops, wrong way. Actually, I'm like I'm like a third of the way up. And again, this volume, for me, is not a problem. The only time I have had, for me, complaints from myself about the volume is when I left it way too high way higher than it needed to be. So I'm gonna work up here just so you guys can see the dust. Let me zoom back out. I'm gonna work way up here. So my hands are no longer rested on here. My arm is rested, okay? So I'm gonna work way up here so you can see it's still going down. Dust blocked from my hand isn't going down as much, but like when I'm way up here, it's still being sucked down. I don't recommend working way up here. One, it's bad for your hands. Rest your arms. So just a little tip for you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna get the rest of this off really quick and then show you how to empty it, because it's super easy. And my favorite thing is the fact that you don't have to tap it out in a trash can. Oh, sorry. Way. And then I keep it in my drawer. So I just lift it up off my desk, just like that. And then I just slide it in my drawer. Easy peasy. And then it's gone and my desk is clean. It's dust free. I don't have to have a towel. I don't have fuzzies. I don't have any of that. So yeah, I'm gonna pull this back out because we want to change the filter. Or not change the filter. Actually, let's just pull the filter out. Show you guys how I clean this. Okay, so I'm gonna set that right there. Put you guys back up on the mount. Don't get dizzy. Don't get dizzy on me. Okay, so again, I know we started the video with this, but I wanted you guys to see it anyway. Because I don't know who was here and who just hopped on. So we have the dust in here, right? Like I only took 3 nails off. We don't have a lot of dust, but I still want you to see it. So I'm just gonna set that there. Typically what I do, oh, it's frozen. Hold on, I'm gonna give it a second. Are we good? I think it's caught up. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. So typically what I do is I sanitize my station, and I use my Rejuvenate wipes for that, which you can get online, but use these. Sanitize your station like normal, and then you're gonna take your wipe once you have wiped off your desk and everything. You've used it for what you need to use it for. You're just gonna take your filter, and again, see how we can see where all that darkness is? You're gonna typically be able to see like where you were working. It'll be pretty dusty in like, you know, that section. So when you put the filter down, keep that section centered on your wipe, okay? Just gonna make less work for you. If you don't use a wipe to sanitize your desk, when you are emptying this, get a wet paper towel, squeeze it out really good. Just make it real damp, and then squeeze it out. You don't have any excess water in there because you don't really want to get your filter wet. It's not helpful. And then lay that down on your desk, and again, center where you were working on your wipe. Okay. And then all you're gonna do is you just do this a couple times. I usually tap it, and then there we go. All clean. Now, if you do like your cuticle nipping over this, it'll catch that. Obviously, that can definitely fall in your slats, as it should, because it's sucking it in there, right? And you see that in there and you don't like it, just take it upside down and like spread apart where it is and then shake and it'll come right out. Or if you say have lifting, and lifting like the pockets fall in there or the products fall in there, you can just grab it out and then you're good, okay? All right, so there's my dust. Not a crazy amount because we just did these 3 nails, right? We did these 2. We did those 3 right there. Okay, and this was just color. This was some art, and this was heavy 3D art. And this is with all of that. and I'm going to repeat this because Sarah told me this and my jaw kind of dropped a little bit. When you are not using a dust collector, you inhale I think it's 3 tablespoons. Is that right? 3 tablespoons of, of plastic. Hold on, let me go look. I wrote down what that was because my mind was blown. Oops. Where did I put that? I can't find my notes, but did I put it there? No. Oh, here we go. 2 tablespoons of plastic. That's how much you inhale when you don't use a dust collector. Or you use one that is maybe not fully functional. Plastic. That's wild and disgusting. And I've definitely had dust in my mouth before. But here, you can see that was with 3 nails total. That's so gross. This is just my nails, so I'm not worried about this hand. But once you've emptied this out onto your wet paper towel or your wipe, you just fold it up, fold it in towards the center so you're capturing in all that dust like a little puss. And then I use that side to wipe up any excess that was outside of my wipe. Just want you to see. And that's it. Dust free. Beautiful. Okay. There you go. I'll pull this back out so you guys can see the pretty. And then you just put your filter back in. Put your screen back on. And you're good to go. And then if you want to keep it on your desk, you don't have a drawer to put it in, their armrest is, there we go. The armrest fits it perfectly. It also, by the way, does fit your lamps. So I have the Cocoas LeBlanc lamps and they fit right under there just as well. So great to have. Very sturdy. Has little feetsies on it. So it can slide around, but yeah. And then you just slide that under there. And then you have your workspace open to do what you need to do. And it's dust free. All right, do you guys have any questions before I jump off of here? I'll save this so if you missed, the beginning or have any questions, you can go back and rewatch it. But again, we removed color on one, some art on the other, and some 3D art on the third. And it just shows you how well the dust gets sucked in. It's great. And I think I mentioned it, but again, when you're over here, or if you're working to the left, you still have a fan right here. If you're working in the center, you have both fans. If you're working on the right and you're having to move around some, you have more space to work in and move around instead of having to adjust your workspace to where your hand is comfortable. Very ideal. Highly recommend. All right. Well, again, I'm not an affiliate. Who knows? Maybe that'll change. Let's hope. That's the goal, because I do actually believe in it and really love the product, because again, otherwise I wouldn't be sharing it. But yeah, I really just wanted you guys to see how amazing it is, because again, I want to answer your questions. I get a lot of questions about it in regular videos of tutorials where this is in the background. People ask about it all the time. So I wanted to be sure I popped on and asked questions. So I'm going to leave the live up and save it for you guys. So that way you guys can go back and watch, ask questions, leave your comments on there. Hopefully it'll be kind of like a hub, so to speak, for you to put your questions in, and I can I'll answer them in stories and stuff, and maybe make some more reels for you to answer your questions. So if you don't have a question now, but you think of one later, don't be afraid to ask. I'll get you taken care of. But I am going to jump off of, yeah, you are so welcome. My pleasure. I'm going to jump off of this live. I'm probably going to hop on a subscribers live for any subscribers that are here, and go over some new products that have come in today and talk about some service stuff. So if you want to join that, feel free. I will see you over there. Or maybe I'll do a general live and just save it for subscribers. So we'll see. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to me blab about how amazing this is. And again, leave questions if you have them, and I will help you out. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you later. Bye.